Okay, here's another example of solving trig equations. And if you'll notice, this time we have more than just cosine of theta. We have cosine of 2 theta minus pi over 2. When you solve equations, no matter what, you always want to start off solving the simple version. Meaning, let's make all of this equal to x. So let's make that equal to x. So instead, let's think of this as cosine of x equals 1. Let's go to the unit circle. Where does cosine equal 1? Well, cosine is your x-coordinate. Your x-coordinate is 1 over here at 0 and 2 pi. So x equals 0. And really, we could keep going 2 pi, 4 pi, etc. Okay? But we're just going to focus on 0. It is one time around the unit circle. So next, we're going to create a general form for the equation. Well, look, x equals this, and x also equals 0. So let's set them equal to each other. So we're going to say 2 theta minus pi over 2 equals 0. But to make it a general formula, we want to add multiples of 2 pi plus 2k pi. So we are creating our general formula. Now we're going to use algebra to isolate theta. So we're going to add pi over 2 to both sides plus pi over 2. Negative pi over 2 plus pi over 2, that cancels out, and 2 theta is the only thing left on the left side. And then 0 plus pi over 2 is pi over 2 plus 2k pi. Next, we're going to continue isolating theta by dividing everything by 2. So here, the 2's cancel out, and we're left with theta. Here, pi over 2 divided by 2 is pi over 4. And here, 2 over 2 cancels out, and we have k pi. So this is our general formula. Now, we want to plug in values for k if we are looking, okay, so this is the general form. So let's make a note of that. General form. Okay, so if we want to find all solutions between 0 and 2 pi, we're going to start off plugging 0 in for k. So if we plug 0 in for k, we end up with theta equals pi over 4 plus 0, or pi over 4. Now let's plug in 1 for k. K equals 1. All right, so then we're going to start off theta equals pi over 4 plus, and we'll plug in 1 here, so plus pi. So 1/4 pi plus 1 pi is 5 pi over 4. All right, let's plug in 2 for k. So when we plug in 2 for k, we get theta equals pi over 4 plus 2 pi. Well, that's going to be greater than 2 pi, so this one is too big. So our answers are theta can equal pi over 4 and 5 pi over 4. There's our answers.